You know when you land on an Amazon page and it just feels like a lot? Like there are a dozen things all screaming for your attention? Well, it turns out it's not chaos at all. It's actually a super carefully built system of persuasion. So let's dive in and actually deconstruct one of these pages. We'll use a PC case as our example and see if we can figure out the subtle art they use to get you from just looking to clicking that Add to Cart button.
So where do we even start? Right at the top, with the title. I mean, look at this thing. It's not just a name, it's a giant string of keywords. It's written for two very different audiences at the same time. First, it's for the Amazon search algorithm, making sure this thing pops up no matter what you type in. And second, it's for the person who knows their stuff. For them, it's not a title, it's basically the whole spec sheet in one glance.
All right, first up, the hook. This is everything you see before you even start to scroll. This is prime real estate, and it's all about one thing: building instant trust and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of urgency.
You see that Amazon's Choice badge? That's not just a suggestion. It's a huge psychological shortcut. Amazon is basically putting its own reputation on the line, telling you, hey, we've checked this out, it's a solid choice. It's designed to make you lower your guard right away.
And then, right next to it, you'll see this little nugget of information. 50+ bought in past month. This is classic social proof. It's just a subtle little whisper that says, hey, you're not the first person to think about buying this. A bunch of other people just did. All of a sudden, the decision feels way less risky, doesn't it? It's not a leap of faith anymore. It's just joining the crowd.
Okay, so now that you're hooked by those little trust signals, the whole voice of the page just shifts. We're moving away from Amazon's quiet endorsement and right into the manufacturer's pitch. This is where Asus steps in to tell you a story, to try and build an emotional connection with what is, at the end of the day, just a metal box.
And the pitch kicks off with just one powerful word: premium. Notice they're not talking about specs here. They're talking about a feeling. They're selling you the idea of a showcase build, something you're going to be proud to show off, all thanks to its fancy brushed aluminum and smoked glass.
Next up, they go right after a huge pain point for PC builders, managing all those cables. But they don't say it's organized or functional. Nope, they call it effortless. That word is a promise. It promises to turn a really tedious, annoying job into something smooth and simple, which helps remove a reason you might hesitate to buy it.
So how do they make sure they appeal to the widest possible audience? With a word like versatile. You want to mount your graphics card the normal way? Cool. You want to turn it sideways for some extra showcase flair? This case can do that too. It's basically telling you, hey, whatever your dream build is, this case can handle it. And finally, they hit their core audience with this phrase, ready for serious cooling. This is aimed straight at the enthusiasts. That word serious positions this thing not as just some component, but as a piece of high-performance gear that's ready for some hardcore setups.
Now here's the really clever part. Those marketing words aren't just empty hype. The page immediately connects every one of those emotional promises to a real physical feature. Effortless cable management is possible because of pre-run cables. Serious cooling is real because it supports gigantic radiators. They make the abstract promise totally concrete.
Okay, next section, the proof. The emotional pitch is over. Now the page shifts gears completely for the kind of buyer who only cares about one thing: cold, hard data.
This question right here marks the turning point. The story stops, and the page pretty much says, all right, you've heard our pitch, now let's get down to the nitty-gritty for the experts in the room.
And here it is, a dense, structured table. You won't find any persuasive language here. It's just facts. 39.7 pounds, the exact dimensions, the materials. This part is for the person who showed up with a checklist and just needs to confirm that all their other parts are actually going to fit.
And buried deep in those details is another key piece of info, the best sellers rank. Now, being number 176 in computer cases might not sound incredible, but it gives you really important context. It tells you exactly where this product sits in its little world, reinforcing that it's a popular and solid choice compared to its direct competitors.
So, you've been hooked, you've heard the pitch, you've seen the data. But what if you're still not sure? Well, that brings us to this safety net. This is where Amazon itself steps back in to try and eliminate every last shred of risk.
Okay, look very closely here. Ships from Amazon.com and sold by Amazon.com. This is the absolute gold standard for trust on the platform. It means Amazon is handling everything, the money and the shipping.
You're not dealing with some random third-party seller, you're dealing directly with the big guy, which brings a huge sense of security.
But what if you get it and you don't like it? The page makes the answer so simple with free returns. They even break it down into 3 easy steps. By showing you just how painless it is to send it back, they're actively fighting that little voice of doubt in your head, the one that stops so many of us from buying things online.
And finally, there it is, the Secure Transaction Guarantee. Honestly, this is the foundation for everything. It's Amazon's core promise that your most sensitive info is safe. It's the fundamental piece of the puzzle that makes you feel safe enough to actually type in your credit card number.
All right, we're at the end, the final context. Because the page isn't just selling you a product anymore, it's selling you a whole brand. This last section uses Amazon's own data to frame Asus as a company you can trust.
This little top brand box is basically Amazon giving Asus a report card, highly rated by over 100,000 people, trending with over 100,000 orders, and maybe the most powerful one of all, low returns. It's the ultimate seal of approval. It's Amazon telling you people who buy from this brand are almost always happy with what they get. So from that crazy keyword stuff title to the emotional pitch, the heart data, and that Amazon safety net, every single piece of this page has a job to do. It's an intricate, beautiful architecture of persuasion. So the real question is, the next time you're shopping online, are you just going to see a product page, or are you going to see the strategy behind it all?